There's a new Morgan Stanley note. Gary commented on it. Based on a recent Morgan Stanley survey of U.S. institutions, Tesla bears outnumber bulls by over 2 to 1. 60% of survey respondents expect Tesla shares to underperform the S&P 500 through year-end, while 26% expect Tesla shares to outperform. 75% of survey respondents believe Tesla shares have yet to bottom this year, with 27% of respondents expecting shares to bottom at or below $100. And this is directly from the Morgan Stanley note. Less than 1 in 4 surveyed believed Tesla is a good way to gain AI exposure in their portfolios. From our recent conversations with investors, Elon Musk is seen as making some effort to distance Tesla from the AI theme for 2024, allowing investors to focus on the deteriorating EV demand narrative. And despite the somewhat bearish sentiment, Morgan Stanley says that they reiterate their overweight Tesla stock price target of $345 per share. But I remember a very similar note when Tesla stock was roughly around $160, and everyone thought that Morgan Stanley asked that the stock is not going to do well, and despite that, it went to almost $300 within a few months after that. So I don't see these opinions exactly as credible. If anything, it's a bit of the opposite for me. Morgan Stanley expects Tesla to host another AI day, but James says the last thing we need from Tesla is another AI day. We need AI execution and monetization, not more demos and explanations. By the way, Morgan Stanley had 84 respondents in the survey. The Model Y subsidy in South Korea has been confirmed. However, it is smaller this year compared to the last year. Here's the European Union BEV market update. The sales in January increased by almost 30% year over year. So the EV wave sort of continues. I mean, it's not down to like 5% year over year. Clearly, the progress is still happening pretty fast. Cybertruck deliveries are starting to happen for the first time in many different places. For example, this is the first Cybertruck delivered in North Carolina, and here are the first Cybertrucks coming to Utah. 82 articles in the legacy media have been written about Cybertrucks rusting, supposedly. And Wes, who is the Cybertruck lead engineer, says, yeah, there has been a lot of mainstream media coverage about rust. None show actual photos. Usually, that is a good indicator to question the accuracy, and this is a side-by-side comparison with a painted vehicle, which shows that clearly this was just surface contamination. Tesla stainless steel actually has a Pren value resistance to pitting corrosion higher than 316L, which is marine grade. Here are January sales in Europe, and you can see that Tesla actually is up 86% year over year. So that's a pretty good result. Tesla's market share went from 1% to 1.7%. I believe that's market share of the whole market, including gas-powered vehicles. One more reason why the number has increased by so much is because Tesla has really worked on eliminating the end of the quarter delivery wave. I really liked the interview that Elon Musk did yesterday. I thought it was the best interview so far of 2024. Now, Elon only did a few interviews so far this year, so it's not a super high bar, but it was pretty cool. The first part of the interview was pretty serious, and then the second part got pretty casual. I personally really enjoyed the casual part. If you haven't watched it yet, just browse through my channel and you'll see the interview there. One thing that Elon also said is about Neuralink. Elon Musk announced that the first human implanted with a Neuralink brain chip has made a full recovery, so that's really good. And Elon also said that he was asked, if you could change one thing, what would you change? And he said he would make everyone 10 times smarter, basically. He took a long pause before he answered that question. And yeah, that's certainly related to Neuralink. Volkswagen has unveiled their first ever electric wagon, the ID7 Tourer, and it is not coming to the US. It has an 86 kilowatt hour battery, and it will have ChatGPT. It's launching later this year. Or it cuts price of the 2023 Mustang Monkey by up to $8,000, offers 0% financing to get rid of existing inventory to make way for 2024 model. And this is expected to be a Model 3 competitor, a Mercedes EQC sedan, which was spotted for the first time being winter tested. We know that BYD is doing a stock buyback, but it is only a $30 million buyback. That's not much. Also, BYD only has $9 billion in liquid assets and sells 3 million vehicles per year. Tesla currently has about $29 million in liquid assets. So to me, this doesn't mean at all that BYD is somehow doing better than Tesla just because it did a $30 million buyback. That's a pretty low amount. Tesla could definitely do a $30 million buyback, no problem at all. Ford is also offering some pretty big incentives to sell some more F-150 Lightnings. $12,500 in cash for the Lightning Premium, for example. And here's a nice breakdown of the Mach-E prices, new versus old. Comparing the Tesla Model Y performance to the Ford Mach-E GT, even though the price is relatively similar, the Tesla Model Y is clearly a better option. More range, faster, more power, less weight, higher top speed, although this one doesn't really matter unless you are in Germany. And of course, quite a bit more space for cargo. The Tesla is also slightly longer and certainly quite a bit wider, 84 inches wide compared to 74 inches. So inside you will be able to enjoy a more spacious environment in the Model Y. Tesla is running more paid ads on X. This one highlights the Sentry mode, the trip planner, the dog mode also, and of course the price, which is about $35,500 after the $7,500 tax credit. I found one more person that got FSD V12, 45 minutes with zero intervention, still some moments of confusion, but nothing deal-breaking overall. Drive was super smooth and human-like, so many improvements from V12. This version can definitely take you from point A to point B. And Omar posted one more drive, no interventions. This drive is just a little bit over 10 minutes. It's becoming so many of these no intervention videos. Of course, it's a bit easier for the vehicle to drive at this time when there are so few cars around, and that means the situations it's going to encounter are not going to be as difficult, because also all the traffic lights are more likely to be green driving at this time of the day or night. But it appears to me that these no intervention drives that are less than 1 hour long are going to become pretty common when FSD V12 rolls out to everyone. This is pretty cool. Tesla Model Ys will have the newly developed Airbag, which is engineered to deploy in the event of a side collision, acting as a barrier between the driver and the front passenger. Like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and watch that interview with Elon Musk. I thought it was pretty good. A lot of different subjects were discussed. I also put detailed timestamps in that video, so if you want to skip something, you can easily do so.